Have you ever been under the weather? Well, I'm going to teach you that and some other prepositional phrases that you can use in your day-to-day conversations. Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay. Welcome back to the channel where I have the opportunity to help you to improve your English comprehension, vocabulary, and your English fluency. Well, I have been showing you guys some of my older lessons and the reviews are mixed. But nevertheless, every now and then you have to spice things up, which means to do things a little bit different. Spice things up, okay? So I am going to teach you some phrases using under today, but I'm not going to do it in story form. So I hope you guys enjoy one of my older lessons, kind of like what we call a throwback, something that was from back in the day or older. But I'm going to show it to you today and teach you some phrases using the word under. Be sure to go by the website where you can check out my Patreon. You can ask me personal questions, get exclusive videos, and my PDFs for my lessons. Okay, let's dive in to today's lesson. I hope you're ready for a little bit of learning and laughter. Let's get into it. So the first prepositional phrase that you can use when speaking English is under pressure. Under pressure. So you may use this in a sentence and say, I am so under pressure having to deal with this new job. Or you may ask someone, are you under pressure? You seem really stressed out. Oftentimes we feel pressure when we have to deal with anxious situations or people that are hard to deal with. And so sometimes you're under pressure. I started today's lesson a little bit late because I was under pressure dealing with some other issues under pressure. Under the influence. So a person can be under the influence or using certain chemicals or drugs that would inhibit their speech. They may talk with a slur. They may not be able to make proper decisions, maybe a medication they are taking. And so you would say that person is under the influence of marijuana, or that is a heavy dosage of medication. I don't want to drive when I am under the influence of that medication. Okay, under the influence. Under the impression. So I am under the impression you really like me. So you could use that in a sentence, or you may say, I am under the impression that we were not going to go because you didn't say anything to me. Okay, so when someone is under the impression, they are pretty much assuming that something is or is not true or so in a person's life. Okay, I'm under the impression you don't like my cooking because you did not eat all of your food. Under the impression. Under the command of. So I can't make that decision because I am under the command of my boss. Okay. I am under the command. So someone else has more influence than you do when you're under the command. I have my orders. I am under the command of my supervisor. Okay. Someone else has to make a certain decision. Under the circumstances. So you may say, under the circumstances, we have to cancel today's game. Or, for instance, I did not do a live stream on Saturday because under the circumstances, I was unavailable. Okay. I had some other things to do. Under the circumstances, I didn't feel like talking to you because of what I was going through under the circumstances. Under the age of, you can't go to this club if you are under the age of 21. Or they will not let you drive a vehicle if you are under the age of 16 in this country. So you can be 15, but I believe you have to have an adult in the car at all times. But you can get your driver's license in this country at the age of 16. Under the age of, I wouldn't suggest you go there because you're under the age of 35. Okay. Under the age of. Here's our first pop quiz question for today's lesson. How would you complete this particular sentence? Blank. I am unable to travel this weekend. Blank. I am unable to travel this weekend. So based upon the first section of the prepositional phrases that I used, how would you complete this sentence? Let's go on to our second section for today. Under stress. You know, lately I have been under stress, you might say, and that's why my performance hasn't been that well. Or you may ask your child, how are you doing in the class? Are you under stress to get a good grade? Under stress. Okay. Oftentimes when you experience stress, you don't think, talk, or act in a way that is considered normal or the way you would usually act. You're under stress. Sometimes when I get under stress, my stomach gets in a knot. Sometimes I get quiet. I don't talk, as well as a number of other things happen when I get under stress. Another prepositional phrase using under is under construction. You may say the website is under construction, or my favorite restaurant is closed because they are under construction. Okay. They are building. Okay. They are, you could also say under repair. I think that's one of my examples I have a little bit later. But when something is under construction, it's not complete. They're still working on it to get a final place or thing done. Under construction. Under the regulations. So you could actually say under the law or under the rules. Okay. Under these regulations, I cannot allow you to do that. Under the regulations, I cannot allow you to smoke here. Okay. Under these regulations, you should only drive 55 miles per hour. Okay. Under the rules, under the law. Okay. Under the guidelines. That is what this particular prepositional phrase means. Under orders. I am under orders to clean this room by 7 o'clock. Under orders. Okay. Down in the description of today's lesson, I give you some orders, or I give you some ways that you can improve your English. Okay. So I may say, look, if you want to do better at speaking English, under normal orders, you would watch this video twice, or you would study for 10 minutes a day. Okay. But oftentimes people use this particular phrase to let someone know that there is a particular rule, regulation, or a law. Under orders. I'm under orders to take you in. Okay. Under one's protection. My daughter is under my protection. My wife is under my protection. Okay. This particular country is under the protection of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the Marines. Under one's protection. Okay. Someone is guarding you. Okay. Someone has oversight. Under discussion, I'm going to take your comment under discussion with the team. Or you may say, this is no longer under discussion. I've made my decision. So when something is under discussion, either you're saying you're going to talk about it or you're not going to talk about it. It's under discussion or it's not under discussion. You know what? We're going to my restaurant. This is not under discussion. We're going where I want to go. Okay. Under repair. So earlier I was talking about something being under construction, something being built for the first time. But when something is under repair, it could be a building getting an upgrade. Okay. So you may say they closed the restaurant for 2 hours because the bathroom is under repair. Okay. It's under repair. I set on my glasses and now they are under repair. I did that about a month ago. I set on my glasses and broke them. Oh, wow. Here's another question, quiz question for the second section. The main course. Oh, that's old. That's old. I didn't change that. We'll skip that quiz question. That's my error. Under lock and key. Under lock and key. Okay. When something is under lock and key, it is safe. It is well protected. Okay. I'm keeping my password under lock and key. Or we're going to the particular store. Make sure the car is under lock and key. Or put your valuables under lock and key. Under review. Okay. When something is under review, you're basically saying that I'm going to look it over. Okay. Your test is under review. Or you might say, they're looking at what happened. It is now under review. The incident is under review. Under the age of. So earlier I said under the age, or you could say under the age of. Okay. So under the age of could be used in a sentence by saying, you know what? I'm going to have to call your parents because you're under the age of 12. Or I really can't date you. You look like you're under the age of 18. You look too young. Okay. Under the assumption. Okay. I was under the assumption that you didn't like me. Okay. Or I was under the assumption that you really liked my lessons. Why didn't you give me a like? I was under the assumption that we were having a good relationship. Okay. So you were assuming, or I was assuming that something was a particular way. Under the assumption. Under suspicion. Okay, so when you think something is awkward or wrong, you would say it's a little under suspicion. You know, I thought you stole something. You were a little suspicious, or we thought you were under suspicion because your jacket was bulged. Someone that shoplifts, they put a lot of things under their clothes, so they look suspicious. And so when you watch them, you would say, we think that they are under suspicion. And finally, under the thumb. Okay. Under the thumb is another way to describe being under pressure. Okay, so you have a lot of pressure on you, so you're just under the thumb. I'm really under the thumb trying to make this deadline. We're really under the thumb trying to get to the theater on time. Under the thumb. So I've given you almost 20 different prepositional phrases today using under. Okay, let's see if you can complete this fill in the blank quiz question properly. And I did this one right. This is not blank. I have made my decision. How would you complete that sentence? This is not blank. I have made my decision. That's going to do it for today's lesson. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope that I have helped you just a little bit.